Well, what's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope everybody's having a great Taco Tuesday. This is Cinco de Mayo month, and man, I'm feeling good. I'm up underneath the house here doing the punch list stuff for the building inspector to make sure that we get his blessing here on Thursday. It actually looks pretty cool. This is the kitchen that we had to take off and rebuild in here. And I've got to mix some cement and mortar and put up underneath the beam here in some places and all that. But we'll get her done and we'll make that building inspector happy with what we've done. So here's an interesting thing here. Right now, it is May 2nd, Taco Tuesday, and this is significant because now, if teams sign free agents, it doesn't count against the compensatory picks. Let me say that again. If you had signed somebody before the draft, basically, when you lose free agents, they look at that and say, how many free agents did you lose and how much was the value of their contracts? If you sign free agents for the same amount, then it's a wash. If you lose free agents and don't re-sign ones at the same amount, you can be in line for compensatory picks. We ended up having 2 extra compensatory picks, one of which we traded along with our other 5th round to bring in Stephon Gilmore as well as Brandon Cooks. So you can see the benefits of having compensatory picks. And I dare say that Dak Prescott was one of our compensatory picks for DeMarco Murray. So now, if let's say you ended up, if DeAndre Hopkins, if he were to be cut, and it doesn't look like he's going to be cut, he's actually in practice now, or he actually showed up for OTAs. So, he wanted to be moved. The Texans couldn't find a trade partner, and the reality is you can't really hold out in today's NFL. Reason being is when you hold out now, it costs you big time. Now, it wouldn't hurt him in the offseason so much, but once you get to training camp, if you don't show up for training camp, you're talking about game checks every week. And that adds up really, really quick, especially when you're talking about the contract that DeAndre Hopkins has. So now, here's where the next wave of free agency will come about. Because now the teams, I need to actually go out here and get this 2x6 to put down here. But now that teams actually have the draft in the books, they may have gotten players in positions that they didn't think that they were going to get. In which case now they look and say, we can get rid of some of these pricey veterans that we may want to move on from, because now we've got a cheap rookie that could take his place. So you're going to start seeing some veterans that are let go that will definitely be looking for a new team. And this is where bargain basement shopping time comes in play. You can get some good name veterans that still have some tread on the tires at a relatively good price. Now, for the Cowboys, interesting thing that happened was when you listen to the draft on the first round pick, when they were trying to decide between an offensive guard, I can't remember the guard that they were thinking about at this moment, between the offensive guard and between him or Smith, they were talking about the depth that they had, that he would have ended up being depth on the roster as opposed to a starter. So the Cowboys believe that they have their starting lineup set for the offensive line. Now, I'll be the first one to say that I'd like to know what the exact plan is, because what that must mean is that Tyron Smith is going back to the left and that Tyler Smith is going to the guard. I know they've been working out Matt Lewinsky. Josh Ball at. They've been working him out at guard. I don't know if he's the actual plan for them or not, but I don't know. I would say I would feel more comfortable getting another experienced offensive lineman. That's just me. But the Cowboys, they did a great job of filling in the holes. I can also believe that they wouldn't mind adding another wide receiver. Although, here's the thing that we don't know because we're not there, is the plan for some of the guys that we have, in the house. Think about some of the players that we drafted that were rookies that didn't get much of an opportunity to actually get out on the field, or were basically rookies that really weren't quite ready to get going. Some of those guys are going to be stepping up this year. One of those guys that people are talking about quite a bit is Jalen Tolbert. So it may be that Jalen Tolbert is actually able to step up from where he was last year and play a bit better than the limited play that he had this past season. We can hope that that's going to be the case. There's a couple of guys that I really look forward to actually doing more things. I can't wait to see Damone Clark, how he is when he gets out on the field more this year, having an off season and having a chance to really let that fused spine get together. And I can't wait to see Sam Williams, who ended up having 4 sacks last year in limited playing time. So the Cowboys do have some really good things to work with, players-wise, and you look forward to seeing all these guys on the field. I've got to get over here and nail some of these pieces, these pipes up in here, and I got to get 2x6 to put in there, and I can get that off of there, and then I got to dig some footers up underneath here so we can try and get the blessing of the building inspector. Back to life, back to reality. And I'm going to say, for all of you guys that are writers and bloggers and work for the Fan and things like that, you guys are lucky. You are truly blessed to be able to have the job and the career that you do, to be able to do that on a full-time basis. Never take that for granted. You know, I get a small taste of it when I went to the draft and being able to be there and, pretend that I'm, the media and things. You guys are doing the real stuff. Enjoy that and take care of it, because all that stuff can be taken away. And then the next thing you know, you're up under the house crawling around.